All right, we have finally arrived at the end here. This is step 4 of ski tuning. This is the fun part, waxing the skis. You can, you don't have to necessarily tune your skis every time you use them. You might want to wax them every time you use them though. And I believe a hot wax at Brighton right now is around $25, $28, something like that. If they do it by hand, if they run it over the machine, it's a little less than that. But you can get a lot of performance out of your skis by just re-waxing them. You can bring your I'm not going to say I ever did this, but I've heard some people have waxed their skis actually in their hotel room between races, between Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday. So anyway, we're going to get down to that, and this is actually the fun part. It's quick and dirty and pretty easy. To do this, we're going to use our brass bristle brush again. I have a selection of waxes here. So this is how I used to do it. These waxes are arranged in order of, I don't know if you can see them down there, so I'll just move them up here. These waxes are arranged in order of hottest to coldest. So they start out at 10 degrees C, that's 50 F. I'm not sure how snow gets up to 50 degrees, but evidently in Europe they have some hot snow. And then it goes all the way down to minus 32. You'll notice these say CH on them. These are hydrocarbon based waxes here. This last one here is LF, is low floral. They came out with this a while ago, and it added a lot of speed. It was known as like the magic dust. They'd actually sprinkle a little bit of this on their skis and wiring it in, and they'd go all that much faster. It's toxic. You're supposed to wear a mask when you use it. And I think it's actually, I don't want to say outlawed, but they don't make it anymore because of the environmental reasons. So I think the fluorine and whatever getting into the snow was getting people upset. So they quit making it. But it's expensive too. This little chunk here, when it was bought, God only knows how long ago that was $28. These other little, and there isn't much there. There's 2 ounces. This is 2 ounces. So I think, I don't know, I haven't bought it in a while, but I bet you drugs are cheaper than that. Anyway, so these here are about half that. So these all have price tags. This one's from Sun and Snow. It was $13. I have this one is, I think, from Nichols. It was $13 as well. And this is another good candidate for end of the year, 50% off sale. So that's when I used to stock up on that stuff, but I quit doing it. Now what I buy is, I don't have much of it left. It used to be a brick about this big, but I buy this stuff. It's called Hertel's Super Hot Wax, or Hertel's Hot and Spicy Wax. This is an all temperature wax. So first of all, it's quite a bit cheaper. This brick that big is $25. It's a brick that is bigger than all these put together. That's one reason. But honestly, the biggest reason is I never know what the snow is going to be. So, I'm just cleaning up from Whistler and getting ready to go to Breck here next week, and I don't know what the temperature is going to be in Breck. I can look at the weather report. I don't know, the last time the weather man got that report wrong was probably the last report he issued. So, if you use this all temperature stuff, you can just, put it on and not worry about it. And it really works. I'm very happy with it. I've never felt like I missed the wax. My skis are sticking or anything like that. So I've been happy with this stuff. This is what I've used for probably 5-6 years and never looked back. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff. If anybody wants some, let me know. We'll talk. So Also, you need, ideally I would have a horsehair brush. This is an El Cheapo too, from a company called Stage. I haven't had a problem with it. I liked it. So you have a plastic scraper. After you put the wax on, you'll level it out with this. I'm sorry. Then the next step is your horsehair brush. I'll put some structure to the wax. And the other thing you need, of course, is an iron to put the wax on. This is a dedicated wax iron from Swix. Got dropped once, still works. I have another one in reserve that haven't brought out yet. Another half off Schumacher deal. And I used to use like my grandma's old garage sale iron, and flip it on. If it starts smoking, it's too hot, turn it down a little bit. It worked just fine. You would look to see if there's a melted trail past your wax as you're laying it down of about 6 inches, and that'd be about right. This one's fancier. It has a thermostat on it, so I just set it up for I think like 95 degrees, which is what the Hertel hot wax guys recommend, and good to go. So these skis have already been, the edges are sharp, the bases have been fixed up, we're good to go. First step, you just, in case there's any garbage on there after all that, you hit it with the brass brush. Who knows, maybe some dust got on there from your workshop, whatever. So do that. Now we're ready to apply the wax, and I don't like to touch the iron to the base more than I have to, so I try to put a S-shaped pattern on of wax, and then that'll actually hold the iron off of the base as I go back and spread it out. Now I'll just kind of go really quickly and spread it out. A little bit more up front here. And you're just kind of trying to, the base is actually porous, and you're trying to kind of get it to soak into the base. It's pretty well covered now. I'm just going to run over it a few more times to get it to really soak in to the extent that I can. I'm going to slow my travel a little bit. At this point, I have a pretty good coverage. It's pretty well soaked in. This ski is done. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop the video because I got to let it cool before we go to the next step, which is to scrape it. So I'll have to do some editing after the fact here. But the good news is the lights didn't go out this time. So let me turn off the video and we'll pick it up in a few minutes. Okay, well, I waxed my other ski. Now we're gonna finish the job here. First I'm gonna scrape it. I picked up this 3-sided scraper. Actually, I got this in Vail a few years ago. It works great. Before that, I made one. I had a piece of plexiglass or something like that. Big square, and that worked great too. But I thought this was cool because it looked official, so I bought it. The other thing that this one has is it has this little notch on the end here to clean off your edges. So what we have to do yet is I got to scrape it flat. There's a couple of, I don't know if you can see that, there's a big knot down there. Somebody got a big drip, looks like heck. But the idea is just get it flat, really, really close to flat, and then we'll finish it up with the brush. So just gonna kind of scrape it. This is still a little on the warm side. I probably killed me with it a little longer. It's working. Now, I've read online that people were talking about how to finish their skis up. And one guy said, hey, I'm ski patrol. I just wax them and go. I don't scrape them. I don't brush them. I don't do anything. And I've actually done that. I did that this year. In fact, this trip that we just got back from Whistler, before I put my skis away last year, I put a very thick coat of wax on, kind of wrapped it around the side so that so that the edges wouldn't get rusty. And I just went to Whistler just like that. And by the time I got back from Whistler, I had, wouldn't have made any difference whether I did that or what I'm doing now. The wax is pretty much gone. So this stuff just sure tells hot wax is supposed to last for 7 days. I mean, I think when you no longer see it, there's still a lot left in the base. The base is porous and actually sucks the stuff up. So I think after you don't really notice the wax sitting on the surface anymore, it still is in your spongy base. So yeah. Okay, so that's done. This is close enough. As far as I can see, it's pretty flat. Now I'm just gonna take my simulated horsehair brush here and very lightly just add some structure to it. This came in vogue probably in the 80s, late 80s or early 80s. I think that there was a theory among racers that if you didn't have the structure on the base, there was a certain amount of suction that you could get between the snow and the ski. Sounds like horseshit to me, because your skis are all on edge anyway, so I don't know where this friction would come from, or suction or whatever, but they sure look nice when you're done. I mean, my God, they look like they're brand new. So honestly, I kind of enjoy doing it for that reason. So these skis are pretty much done here. I'm just gonna lightly see if I can give it a little bit of dust in it. I'm gonna take I'm gonna do the edges too. So this has this little groove in it. Just kind of line it up on the edge and just clean that wax off of those edges that you just covered up. And that might make your first 10 feet a little more enjoyable. That clears the wax off the edges, off the sides. The other side. So anyway, that pretty much concludes it here. As soon as I run this over, I'm done. I really enjoy doing this. I think I kind of mentioned that before, that you're kind of one with your ski as you're gently caressing it and rubbing its back, and just if you're not skiing, at least you get to touch your skis, right? So I enjoy doing it. It saves you some money, maybe. If you tune your skis a lot, it does definitely save you money. Kind of like if you race a car, you don't want to be taking it to the mechanic all the time. You got to do that yourself. So the skis are done. They look like they're brand new, and I'm really looking forward to using them next week in Breckenridge. And you guys have any questions, in the Ann Arbor Ski Club, you guys know where to find me. If you're really interested in this and you need some help, or you want to just try it together sometime, I'd be more than happy to set up a time. I'm retired now, so I don't really have much to do. So I'd be more than happy to set up a time and we could work on your skis and you can see if you like it. I might do one and let you do one, or go back and forth, but mostly I want to do it if you are interested in learning how to do it. If you just want your skis tuned, just taking them up, right? But if you're interested and want to see how it's done and try some of the equipment out, I'd be more than happy to work with you on it and get your skis all squared away. So hope to see, I'm going to see 35 of you guys in Breckenridge next week, and to see everyone else maybe at the general meeting on Thursday. We're going to have a trivia night, I guess, up in Mount Brighton. And, ask me questions if you want, or write me an email, packer.fan@comcast.net, and go from there. Thanks.